Hey guys, Tony Bonvecchio with the Strength House. Today I'm going to talk about the #1 rule for foot position in the bench press, and that's to get your knees below the height of the bench. Now, no matter what foot position you use, whether your feet are flat, whether your feet are hooked under you, your knees need to be below the bench and below your hips. If your knees are even with your hips or above your hips or the bench, we're kind of using those terms interchangeably, you're not going to be able to get effective leg drive, and your butt's much more likely to pop off the bench, which if you're a power lifter, we know that's not allowed in competition. So I'll show you flat foot position first. So a lot of people will have their feet out front just because that's the most comfortable position for the hips. But what you'll see here is that my knees are even with my hips and even with the bench. So if I go to drive with my legs here, I'm going to have a hard time applying that leg drive backwards. It's more just going to pop my hips straight up. So what I need to do here is I need to move my feet out wider and turn my feet out more, and that's going to drop my knees below my hips. So now as I go to drive with my legs, it's pushing my body backwards. That way I can get that bar path moving backwards as well. It's also a lot harder for my butt to come off the bench with my feet placed like this as well. Simply getting my knees below my hips and below the bench anchors my butt to the bench, makes it a lot harder for it to come off. Now, if I hook my feet underneath me and have my heels off the ground, obviously it's a lot easier to get my knees below the bench here. It kind of automatically does that. That's why it's a pretty advantageous position if your federation allows you to do so. But what you want to be careful of here is not driving through your toes. If I drive through my toes here, you can see it actually lifts my knees. Whereas if I push my heels back towards my traps, it keeps my knees below my hips. So see the difference? Toes lifts my knees.